In an age where war and treachery consumed the lands, a fierce and feared warrior rose from the ashes of battle. He was known as the Blood Knight, a man who carried a curse so dark it threatened to consume not only his enemies, but his soul. He wasn't just a man, he was a vessel for evil spirits, cursed with an insatiable thirst for blood. But beneath the armor and the blood-stained blade, there was a struggle, a battle within that would decide not only his fate, but the fate of all who crossed his path. Without further ado, let's dive into his story. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to do so to enjoy more thrilling tales like this one. The curse begins. Long before he was called the Blood Knight, he was a valiant warrior, a protector of his people. In a fateful battle, while defending his village from invaders, he struck down a dark sorcerer. But victory came at a great price. As the sorcerer fell, he unleashed a curse, a blood explosion that bound evil spirits to the warrior's soul, twisting his mind and filling him with a primal thirst for violence. The once honorable knight now found himself driven by forces he couldn't control. His strength grew beyond human limits, but so did his bloodlust. Every swing of his sword fed the dark spirits inside him, driving him further from his humanity. Villagers who once hailed him as a hero now feared the mention of his name. For the Blood Knight had become an unstoppable force of destruction. The rise of the Blood Knight. His name became synonymous with terror. Entire villages would abandon their homes upon hearing whispers of his approach, fleeing in fear for their lives. His rage knew no bounds, and under the curse's control, he fought without mercy, laying waste to everything in his path. Darkness seemed to follow wherever he went, and with each battle, his thirst for blood only grew stronger. Yet beneath the ferocity, a part of him still remembered what it was like to protect rather than destroy. In rare moments of clarity, the Blood Knight would gaze at the burning wreckage left behind and feel a deep, gnawing regret. But it was fleeting, like the last light before dusk. The curse was too strong, and every time he tried to resist, it tightened its grip on his soul. The curse's grip. As the years passed, the Blood Knight's inner torment deepened. Memories of his past life, the life before the curse, began to haunt him. He would see flashes of faces he once knew, moments of joy long forgotten, and the echoes of his former self. These memories left him disoriented and conflicted, as if two forces were waging a war within him. He would try to hold on to those memories, but they would slip away as the darkness returned. Each time, he was left feeling more hollow, more disconnected from the man he once was. His heart yearned for redemption, but the curse kept pulling him back into the blood-soaked path of destruction. One night, after a particularly brutal battle, the Blood Knight stood alone in the silence of the battlefield, surrounded by the ruins of a village he had destroyed. For the first time in years, he didn't feel the rush of victory, only emptiness. In that moment, he made a vow. He would find a way to end the curse, even if it meant sacrificing everything. The final battle. The opportunity came in the form of a long-forgotten enemy, one of the few who had survived the Blood Knight's wrath. This enemy had spent years seeking a way to break the curse, and finally confronted the Blood Knight in one final, climactic battle. As swords clashed and the ground shook, the Blood Knight fought not just his enemy, but the dark spirits inside him. In the heat of battle, The enemy revealed an ancient spell, a way to sever the blood bond and free his soul. But there was a price. The Blood Knight could break the curse, but doing so would require him to sacrifice his life. The choice was his: continue as the cursed warrior or free his soul and save the world from further destruction. With one final strike, the Blood Knight chose redemption. As the curse was lifted, the evil spirits fled his body, and for the first time in years, he felt peace. Whether he truly regained his humanity or sacrificed himself to end the bloodshed is a mystery lost to time. Legacy of the Blood Knight. The Blood Knight's name passed into legend, but not as a symbol of fear alone. He became a figure of both terror and redemption. Villages that once cowered at his name now spoke of him in hushed tones as a man who was both cursed and courageous. His story served as a reminder that even the darkest of souls can seek the light, if only they have the strength to fight for it. And so, the tale of the Blood Knight comes to an end, but his legacy lives on in the hearts of those who remember both the destruction he wrought and the sacrifice he made. Thank you for joining me in this story, and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe for more tales of dark legends and heroic sacrifices.